Okay friends, time for one of the most requested videos I've had lately, and that is talking about how we do chores with our 8 kids, how we do allowance, and how we manage all the monies with them in the house. Let's talk about it. We've got 8 kids from 4 to 14, and we have a system that's worked really well for us for years. So today we're gonna talk about how much we pay in allowance, how our kids earn allowance and how we manage it, and then what our kids are expected to buy or pay for with their allowance. We're gonna cover it all. And thank you to Greenlight for sponsoring this video. Literally couldn't do it without you. Okay, let's get on with it. First of all, why do we do allowance? It's a very personal choice, I will tell you. So in your home, you just really need to find the system that works for you. But I am an expert in family systems. My passion and what I teach online is to help you create systems in your home that help reduce overwhelm, raise capable kids, and give you more time and money to spend on the things that mean a lot to you in your life. 2 very important systems that I feel like you should have set up in your home is a budgeting system and a system for helping to raise capable kids if you have kids. Allowance helps accomplish both of those things. In short, allowance isn't really about the money, it's about the lessons and the boundaries that are put on that money. It helps keep you in check as a parent, keeping you in budget on certain things. It also gives your child the opportunity to learn how to manage money, spend money, and save money before they get to be an adult and things just get way the heck harder. The goal is to give your kids as many opportunities to make big life mistakes as kids when the mistakes end up being small, so that they are capable, amazing adults that know how to do real life adult things once they get out there in the real world. Allowance helps you do that. So I am a fan of allowance for sure. Now some people say, I don't think my kids should earn money for being part of the family. We all contribute. They shouldn't get paid for chores. Actually, I hear you on that. But you're going to spend the money as a parent anyway. You're going to give them money for clothing or shopping or hanging out with friends anyway. It's not about saying if you don't contribute to the family, you're not gonna get paid. It's about shifting the responsibility to them to teach them life lessons. Got it? Okay, so the number 1 question I get is, how much should I pay my kid in allowance? And my answer is, however much you want. It's very individual. I don't know what your budget is. I don't know where you live. I don't know what your family values are and how much your children contribute. But here's a standard that my parents set for me and my siblings that we have adopted for our kids, and it's a system that's worked really well for us. It's a very simple formula. Ready? A good place to start with allowance is pay your child half their age per week or twice their age per month. When to start this allowance is entirely up to you. In our home, we start it when they can do basic math, addition and subtraction, about 1st grade. And for us, our oldest is 14, and we will probably do the allowance thing until he's 18 and graduates. However, we do expect our kids to get a job and earn their own money as they get older. We'll get to that. Now, in terms of how to pay this allowance, there's a lot of different ways to do it. For us, we use Greenlight. You know, you've seen it on videos before. It's so slick and so easy because all of our kids have their own Greenlight debit card. You saw that in my last video where I took my kids shopping. And what I like about Greenlight is that we can set it up on auto pay so that it automatically sends them half their age per week, or however you want to do it. Maybe it's bi-weekly or once a month, and it splits the money for them. So it puts their spending money on their card. We can put money away in savings. That's all automatic. You can set it up, but that's how we do it. We have the money going to our kids every week versus every month, and they get an allowance increase on their birthday. So question number 2 I get a lot is, how do your kids earn allowance? Do you have a chore system? Do you have a chart? Is it a point system? Do you pay per chore? How do you do it? In our home, we have a system that we have kept for years that's worked really well for us. I will teach you about that, and maybe it'll work for you, but in general, just test multiple systems and find the one that works for you. And the best system is the one that you keep consistent with. In our home, our kids get their weekly allowance, like we talked about, which is half their age, and they have daily and weekly expectations. We don't necessarily call them chores because for this, it's just part of their expectation as being a member of our family. It's kind of just the daily maintenance and upkeep. Some of you know this. I've been teaching this for years, but we call it our clipboard system because back in the day, it was literally a piece of paper that we printed out and clipped on a clipboard and hung on the wall that the kids had to accomplish each day. Recently, we have switched to a more high-tech version, a digital version of the clipboard system. We're still getting used to it. I don't really know which is better. I like the digital version because my kids think it's cool. I also like that it shows our family calendar. I will say though, the good old-fashioned clipboard system hung on the wall worked really well, especially for our younger kids. So I will report back on that, but I will link to my free clipboard printable as well as the digital system that we use down below. Every child is assigned a cleaning zone in our home each week. And if you want to know about our cleaning zones, let me know. I can do a video about it. But essentially, we break up the home. Each kid is assigned a zone. They are in charge of keeping that zone tidy each day. And then the zones rotate on Sundays. Our kids are also responsible for cleaning their rooms and making their beds each day, packing their own lunches, doing their own laundry if they're old enough, putting their clean clothes away, even on down to our toddlers, and then keeping up with their school and extracurriculars like practicing the piano or accomplishing their homework. We also include some daily chores on the clipboard. My two middle girls, Davy and Maury, they are responsible for the dishwashers every morning. If it's one dishwasher, they each take a rack, or if both dishwashers are clean, then they each take one, and that's just their job every single morning. Again, those are just what's expected of them as their family contributions. My big kids that are very busy with sports and different things, they tend to get their bigger chores on the weekend. So my three older kids on Friday and Saturday, they do a lot outside. They're in charge of mowing the lawn, edging, weeding, weed whacking, things like that. Make sense? In the summer, their clipboards are very different and much more robust. For example, every child gets 2 chores every single day, including my big kids. They have their zones that rotate like usual, but we also include some learn activities like they have to read or they have to do a typing class online, something to keep their brain sharp over the summer. If you want more information on our updated clipboard system, let me know in the comments. I can do an updated video on that too. But in general, in order for them to get their allowance, they need to complete their norms for the week. The beauty with Greenlight is you can adapt this system to work for you. Right in the Greenlight app, you can set up chores that the kids have to check off in order for them to get their allowance or get paid. You can set up a lot of things on Greenlight, such as like spending limits and boundaries on their money. And you also get real-time notifications on their spending activity, which is nice. But then in terms of allowance, you can tie certain chores to allowance. So it teaches them the value of hard work and money at the same time. And this is really beneficial for our kids because if they want to earn extra money, they are welcome to do extra chores anytime they want. So we have bonus chores with dollar amounts tied to it. So if they want to go out with their friends to a movie and want to earn some extra money to do so, no problem. Hop on the Greenlight app, choose some chores, and the money will drop right into their account. It's great. And the last question about allowance that I get all the time is, okay, but what are your kids expected to pay for? They earn money. What do they use it on? Great question, Freebs. This is also a very personal thing. You got to decide for you, but our family system is this. We cover needs, they cover wants. For us, needs are the things reasonably expected for the proper care and feeding of a child. If they grow out of their clothes and winter is approaching and we need to buy them winter clothes, we will cover that. If our children need basic necessities like toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, all those things, of course, no problem, we cover that. But if my children want the fancy $250 Jordans that are well beyond my budget, no problem. Knock yourself out, but you're spending your own money. Maybe I would contribute $50 toward those shoes because that's the budget of what I had set for those shoes, and they would be responsible for anything above and beyond that. I have a whole closet full of toiletries and shampoo and things that I buy that's considered consumables that I work into my grocery budget every week. Well, if my daughter wants a fancy dancy hair mask, something that's like the coolest trend on Instagram and all her friends have it, whatever, knock yourself out. You got money, babe. You buy that thing. My daughter is in cheer. The needs of cheer is that we cover the basic monthly fees and the uniform, which is required. Anything above and beyond that, she's responsible for it. This year, she wanted a team jacket. Great. You got money. Love it. Enjoy it. That is a want, not a need. My daughter wanted a yearbook for her elementary school. To me, that's not a need. I have paid plenty of school fees throughout the year. I'm handling teacher gifts and school fees and lunch fees and all this stuff. Her $10 yearbook, that is a want. She paid for that with her own allowance. Let's say we're going out to eat as a family or going out to a movie or doing an activity. Of course, we will cover that. We are together as a family. But if you want to go out to a movie with your friends or go to the roller skating rink with your friends or go spend a day at the amusement park with your friends, knock yourself out. That's why you have money. They are responsible for paying for that themselves. Does that make sense? Does that help? You need to decide the difference between wants and needs, set some boundaries on it, and then your answer is yes, absolutely. You can have those fancy Nikes. You can ride your bike to the store and get yourself a soda. Absolutely. Knock yourself out. You've got money. That's why we have it, babe. By giving them the opportunity to earn, spend, and save their own money, it teaches them the skills that are necessary for becoming a great, capable, boundary-loving, abundant adult. And that is ultimately the goal, parents. Now, with allowance and what they spend the money on, we also set some boundaries on our kids' money, and Greenlight helps us do this, where we set boundaries on their spending limits and their savings, because that's our job as adults, is to teach them these principles now and help guide them down the right path. You guys know my budgeting 70% rule, which is I believe that you should only ever spend 70% of your take-home income. If you want me to cover this, I can do a video about it, let me know below. And 20% should go to savings, and then 10% could go toward debt, retirement, tithing, something philanthropic or proactive. Our kids do the reverse of the 70% rule. We encourage our kids to only spend 30% of what they make and to put 70% into savings. A big part of this is because they're kids. What are they gonna spend their money on? They got everything they need at home. Also, they might be young now. They might only be 10, 11, 12, 13 now, but 16 comes up pretty quick when they need to help contribute toward a car, pay for insurance and gas. 18 is just around the corner when they're off and in college and out of the house. So we try to help our kids be forward thinking and say, yes, you have money to spend on fun now. But a big part of why you earn money is to set yourself up for the future. So it is important not to spend every dime of what you earn now, because you're going to need it in a hot minute. So again, you can decide what those percentages are for you, but we set that up in the Greenlight app. So we've got money dropping into their savings and money dropping onto their card for spending. Makes it really easy. Also, our kids are required as soon as they're old enough to get a job of some kind or another, because allowance alone is not going to cut it, especially when they turn 16. Our two oldest right now that are 12 and 14, they have a job. They were hired by a YouTube channel to be in their videos, and they make money that most of it is going right into savings so that they have their allowance for their fun spending money. I highly recommend checking out Greenlight. I've got information on them in the description of this video. It could be a really great solution for your family in teaching them financial independence and responsibility. And it's fun. They have so much fun. So there you go. That's how we do allowance. How do you do it? Will you let me know in the comments? Also, let me know what video you want me to make next. Thanks again to Greenlight for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check them out. It's a game changer. All right. See you guys next week. Bye.
Nice job. Did you have fun? All right, cool. You did really good.
Yeah.
You are officially a Ninja Kid.
Yeah! Ninja Kid, man!